Hello everybody, welcome to the WTF1 Virtual GP, the first ever event where we're doing it for sim racing. We're here at Simply Race and I am so excited to bring you 4 hours around the Interlagos track on R Factor 2. I'm going to be racing. There's the WTF1 team. There's a few superstar YouTubers here as well, which I'll speak to a little bit later on. We're about to head into qualifying at the moment, and as you can see behind me, there are quite a few WTF1 fans here, and I am so excited to speak to a few of them as well over the course of this broadcast. We've got Callum Cripps, who's in the commentary box, as well as a few other special guests which you'll hear of, including myself. I'll be in the commentary as well, speaking very highly about the WTF1 team. Qualifying, as I say, is about to begin in Interlagos, and I cannot wait to get involved and get started. We actually look quite good, which is lovely, not right at the back, so hopefully we'll be able to do it well in qualifying. I'm going to be the one setting the time, so who knows, we might be pretty bad. I might bottle it, but who knows. I am going to now send it over to Callum, who is over in the commentary box, to get you ready for qualifying.
WTF1 Virtual GP here live at Simply Race in Milton, Keynes. We're just about going to get ready for qualifying, so it's going to be very interesting to see who's going to be top of the timesheets and get the pole position for the 4-hour endurance races in GTE cars. So, and we're going to run through the driver order as well in teams to find out who's going to be top of the times. So then, as Matt Gallagher actually gets into the pod, because he's going to be qualifying for the WTF1 A team, we've got a few cars on track now. So you're looking at the Porsche 911 RSR GTE pod number 9, and that has some very influential racing drivers of the current time out in that car at the moment. So we've got in that team, we've got Michael Epps, who you will associate with the British Touring Car Championship, and yet to be announced racing driver potentially in a sports series of some kind, so you'll see him racing throughout the day. We've also got Will Dendy, who's a ex-racing driver turned to well, he's unfortunately dropped out of racing now, but still does a lot of sim racing here at Simply Race. We've also got Russ Gunn, who's a GT3 driver, as well as potentially doing some WEC stuff and GT racing this year. We've also got Alex Sedgwick, who's a Euro NASCAR driver for Brax Racing this year. We've also got Josh Valentine, who's a sim racer here at Simply Race, and they're joined also by James Arger, who's a novice here at Simply. So he's got some great tuition coming from his teammates to make sure he's nice and quick. We've got a Ferrari locking up going into turn 5 around the Interlagos circuit, and again they need to be a tiny less on the brake going through them corners for the meantime. So WTF1 at the moment, nobody's set a lap time yet, but Matty Gallagher is in the car. We've also got Arav, who's driver number 2 in that car. So we've got Ben Daly as well, Graham Carroll, Alex Gillen and Jack Werrell, who will be joining the car, well, sharing the car with Matty Gallagher throughout the 4-hour race. We've got 30 minutes of qualifying going on at the moment. Prestige at the moment, so that's Ross Gunn at the wheel behind that purple Porsche that we saw earlier on. A 1:30.4 is the quickest time so at the moment, and that's potentially going to be beaten as well. I think we saw the fastest time in practice session was a 1:30.1. So there's a few tenths to be found throughout this session, and the drivers will be still warming up the cars, making sure the track is getting more rubbered in throughout the session. And it's going to be very interesting. We'll be watching pod number 8, which is the Cecil the Wang team, a very interesting name from that squad. So those guys have got Felix Connolly, Greg Mayland, Alex Hartley, Tom Knight, Kieran Woodhouse and Toby Nichols in that car sharing this afternoon. So a fantastic looking Porsche 911 RSR. We've also got a few interesting team names. We've got team It's James in pod number 11, and that's a great name. It should have been Valtteri It's James, but unfortunately they've just gone for It's James, so we'll leave it at that. Team WTF1 yet to set a time actually, so Matt's probably still on his outlap because he was helping us with the intro to this live stream. We've also got a few other teams going top of the times. Veloce Esports are 1:30.1, so those guys on fire at the moment, top of the times. We still have got 25 minutes in this qualifying session, so a lot of time for the drivers to get used to the track and put a quick lap in. We've also got a lovely Corvette GTE car, sorry, coming around the back of the circuit now. We've got a lot of branding on this straight as well. We'll call it branding straight for this event. I know it's called something else, but why not make up some names? Okay, then a few other teams we've got. We've got Blue Flag Racing, Sebastian Vettel potentially in that team. Prestige as well, so the guys we talked about earlier, a few of them pro drivers in that team. We've got Fault Shark GP, which is quite difficult to say actually when he's talking quickly. Those guys actually used a name generator online just to make up a name, so good from those guys thinking on the spot. We've got Dive Bomb Racing, currently in 14th position as well, so those guys hopefully Dive Bomb by name, but hopefully not by nature. And we'll see them probably into turn one. We've got Barrel Roll Racing as well, so those two bottom teams hopefully not replicating their names on track, but also having a good time. We have got a lot of newbies to the Simply Race Centre for this event. Obviously WTF1 and all their fans bringing loads of people here to the event today. We're absolutely full out with 120 people inside the building. We've got 90 drivers, 20 spectators, and then we've got about 10 crew behind the scenes who we'd all like to thank for hosting the event today, along with WTF1. So then in Prestige go to the top as well. So I think that's Ross Gunn in the car at the moment, a 129.89, well 987, sorry. So those guys are very, very quick at the moment. So then we've also got Veloce Esports in third. We've got Inui Racing Spirit, which is, I think, a homage to Taki Inui, who was I think a Japanese racing driver in Formula One, but don't think he had a particularly amazing career after getting. He got run over by a safety car. I know that one day. We got GPVWC as well. Those guys are currently in fourth position, and Matty Gallagher in the WTF1 car, currently rotating around in the circuit in fifth place at the moment. So then, as I was saying, we've also got GP2 engine. So those guys, well, the cars are all bops, so they can't really blame the engine. There's also, if they had the GP2 engine, they'd probably be a lot quicker in these GTE cars. We've got the BMW M8, sorry, currently circulating at the moment. That's pod number 2, so that is the GPVWC team. And they're very, very large BMW M8. So what position are they in at the moment? It will say on the side of the car when they come past, they're in 5th position. So they come through to complete another lap, don't go any quicker, so they remain 5th for the moment. We've also got a nice Porsche here, the blue coming through, pod number 6, so those guys, WTF1 A team. So this is Matty Gallagher himself in the car at the moment. You can see he's sitting in P3 at the moment then. You'll be able to tell the position of the cars on track with the number board, the digital number that's on the side of the car. You can tell he's in 3rd position as well. So he's then currently just coming through the 2nd sector, nice twisty part of the circuit. You've got to be so patient on the throttle as you come through these parts of the circuit. We've got a car off as well, down coming into the 2nd sector, just behind where we saw Matt a moment ago. So this is pod number 5. This is the GP2 engine team, as we're back now with Matty Gallagher, who's lapping quite quickly at the moment. His sector times look quite good, so he's accelerating up the hill. Let's see if he can improve his time and try and break into the 129s. You hear that car, straight 6, absolutely hammering down the back straight towards 165 miles an hour now. As he crosses the line, is he going to go any quicker? No. So Matty then stays 3rd for the moment, but really impressive from Matty to be all the way in comfortably inside the top 5 this early stage in qualifying. So you can see this down branding straight once again. And coming into the braking zone for turn 4. Does he get it to the apex? Yes, he does. Very nicely done. And then on the power, letting it drift slightly, just losing that momentum ever so slightly as he climbs the hill. And it's going to drop down 1 or 2 gears. And, so I think that was the end of qualifying, actually. So we had a quicker qualifying session, but Matt Gallagher put it 3rd anyway, so impressive driving from those guys. It was very, very close at the top end as well. So then we'll get our final running order in a second, and then we run into the 4-hour race. Okay then, so we are back live now in the Simply Race facility. You can see a few fans waving to the camera there, and it's great to see so many people out here today. Alex Cedric just walking past the camera as well. You're a NASCAR driver. So then, Grant is just briefing the drivers before the start of the race. It's going to be a very interesting race start, I can assure you that, as we've got 15 cars, 90 drivers, all going to descend on this 4-hour race. So then Grant just advising the drivers, make sure they don't make too much contact on turn 1. I'm sure hopefully everybody will get through nice and cleanly and we'll have a good 4-hour race. So then some drivers tucking into some pizzas as well. We've had a great pizza delivery here. We've had about 50 pizzas, all of them 18 inches, arriving today at the facility for all the drivers and all the spectators as well. So then we've got Will Dendy there just saying hello to the cameraman as he walks around the venue. We've got a lot of smiling faces back here. I can't really recognise too many people at the moment. So you can see the Veloci guys as well, just coming through the shop now. All nice branded up. So those guys are looking very, very quick indeed. And going to be mounting a challenge to try and win the first ever virtual GP here at Simply Race for WTF1. So some great prizes to be won here today as well. We've also got Anytime Fitness down at the venue with a Batang machine, which is a reaction tester machine that you may see a lot of racing drivers associated with. And that's going to be very interesting. Ross Gunn, I think, currently released away at the moment. You can see him just in the grey shirt just walking through. Great timing from Ross. Standing with Mike Epps, British touring car driver. So those guys obviously are enjoying this event as well with the newbies down here at Simply Race today. We've got a VR headset as well, so VR pod you can see on the screen at the moment. So another driver enjoying that. It's a Formula 3 car driving around Donington Park. And if you've ever tried a VR sim, it's very, very immersive. You can get to see every single detail of the track. You also see it a lot lower than you normally do in a standard sim. It's very, very immersive and very impressive as well. So great to see people enjoying that. This driver has no idea he's being on the live stream at the moment, but he's enjoying himself nonetheless. We've also got a few more minutes until the 4-hour race gets underway. We can see the Batang machine from Anytime Fitness. These guys displaying all their credentials today. Say Eddie on the screen at the moment, he's enjoying himself, so just having a little shakedown.
Hi, I'm Eddie.
Oh, there you go.
I'm a senior trainer. I used to be a surgeon, but now I'm more on line of rehab, and I'm based at Anytime Fitness in Shenley. It's a great club, so please come down and join us. We're always looking for good members. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.
Thanks for that, Eddie. That was great. What a nice guy. So if you're coming down today, there's Mike.
So just passing over to Matty, the star of the show, of course, not me.
Who am I interviewing?
Well, not me.
I hope not. Oh, you just want? Let's go have a roam then. Yeah, okay. Let's go for a roam. Okay, so I hope you enjoy qualifying. Oh wow, okay. There's a wall of people. That's all right, no worries. If we walk through this way, I feel like Martin Brundle on the grid right now. This is it's definitely not an occupation I think I have, but yeah, fourth on the grid for us, which quite happy with. Got a better lap in then than I did in practice earlier. Let's go and find Arav and Tiamat Marduk. It's probably quite dark over here, so let's go and see. Are we still good to be over here? Does it look all right? Yeah? Okay. Arav, come on. I'm going to have to borrow you for a second.
Cool.
So you're stepping on my foot. Okay. So, Arav, you're joining here, WTF1 Virtual GP. How are you?
Good. Happy to be here.
Yeah? I saw you having a bit of a practice earlier.
Yeah.
How would you sum up your probably 5 minutes of practice?
It was all right. It was a little bit hard to get used to compared to obviously the F1 car I'm used to, but I'm confident in our team. I think our team's done quite well. You did
As a squad?
Well. Yeah, as a squad, but you personally did very well for us.
Stop it, Arav.
So looking forward to that.
Come this way, Arav, and Ben as well. Come with me because it's a bit lighter and a bit easier to chat rather than this dark abyss of sim pods and sweaty people. That's a child that cameraman just knocked out. Lovely, but we don't abuse children here. So, Tiamat Marduk in the UK. Hello. Ben, how are you?
It's a pleasure to be here. How are you guys?
Well, I can only answer for myself, but I'm sure everyone else at home is also enjoying themselves. How have you found so far the event?
Very good. There's a lot of people here. It's a great turnout, and we should be in for a very interesting race today.
I think a lot of people watching will probably be wondering, do you have damage? Or did you get damage in practice?
Lots of damage. I'm surprised I didn't roll over, to be honest, so that's a positive.
If I'm not mistaken, I think coming out the pits in practice, what happened there, Ben?
Well, at home, I'm used to two brake pedals. Two pedals.
Two brake pedals, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, extra safety. No, I pressed the clutch pedal, and I went straight into the exit.
Oh, he pressed the clutch pedal. Okay, yeah.
It was good. But I figured that out, and now I think I'm good.
And then you only spun 3 times after that, right?
Definitely everyone else's fault, not mine.
It's never Ben's fault. Tiamat Marduk, if you're wondering who these guys are, Tiamat Marduk, F1 YouTuber, and Arav as well. You used to be called Arav on PS3, isn't that right?
Oh, but way back in the day, way back, yeah. But now it's just Arav, yeah.
Just Arav. So these guys both do F1 content. We've collabed before, doing little bits and bobs here and there, haven't we?
Yeah, done the infamous, do I dare say the name, infamous series back in the day. I won't say the name. We did a
YouTuber Championship.
Yeah, so yeah, I think a lot of people know us from that together. But yeah, no, good to be back here in person with you two, and yeah, it should be a fun event.
It is very odd to see. I guess a lot of you gamers maybe sat at home, you know, if you were to meet people that you play with online, then you kind of see them in real life, and you're like, oh, you're actually real. You're not just a voice in my head. Ben, how have you found kind of moving to the UK? Obviously, you're here. This is your first event in England, right?
Yeah, so it's pretty hectic. It's very, very cold here, I've noticed. The weather went downhill as soon as
What were you expecting?
You can thank me for that. But yeah, it's really cool. Looking forward to getting out there and hopefully not binning it in front of everyone.
It was actually really close in qualifying for those guys watching qualifying. We're starting in 4th. I think we were about 4/10 off pole, which wasn't too much considering we don't really sim race anymore. Although you only do F1, and this is GTE racing. If you guys haven't seen it already, or if you're tuning in late, which is a lot more understeer, less speed, but still quite a difficult challenge.
Yeah, the cars are very heavy, very cumbersome compared to F1. You need to carry the brake into the corners a lot more, but it's a different driving style, but it's pretty rewarding to drive nonetheless.
And it's not that long now till the start of the race, I promise. If I'm still on the mic, then we haven't started the race because I'm starting the race for our team. So if we see cars going off the grid, we're in big trouble. Arav, what have you got kind of planned? You've obviously got quite a good relationship with Vloche Esports and Sauber as well. Have you got anything in the pipeline?
That should be some exciting stuff with Alfa Romeo Racing. Hopefully, can't really say quite.
Yeah, that's why I did it. I was expecting maybe a...
No, I can't say what it is, but yeah, it should be exciting times this year. Obviously, the second proper year of F1 esports, so it should be pretty damn good.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys, for chatting. Yeah, so there was a 4-hour Interlagos race coming up for you. I know you may not watch all of it, but as long as you watch most of it, I won't be upset. I'll be starting the race, so please make sure that you watch fourth on the grid. Although we've just been told to keep it in neutral, and I'm going to forget that coming around the formation lap and probably roll backwards into sixth. Let's see if that happens. Back to you, Callum.
Thank you, Matt. So great insight there from our guest today here at Simply Race facility in Milton Keynes for our inaugural race in the WTF1 Virtual GP. We may even potentially have another one of these one day. That would be fantastic to have a potential championship as well, along with the karting event they did at Buckmore Park a few months ago. So then for those of you just joining, welcome. My name's Callum Cripps and we're going to be running you through live coverage the whole way, no adverts or silly broadcasting things like that. We're going to be bringing you live coverage from the 4-hour endurance race here at Simply Racing GTE cars. So not your normal Formula 1 spec cars. These are road cars that are pretty much stripped out, put loads of wings on and a lot of power and a lot of grip. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the teams get on. We've got 15 teams, so 15 pods. And in total 90 drivers involved in this event today, so fantastic to see so many guys coming down here, getting involved with WTF1 and Simply Race as well. So it's great to see so many people having a great time down here today, enjoying the pizzas that have been delivered as well. And it's going to be a fantastic event. So we see 8 minutes to go until the start of the race, and that is from the green flag as well. So we'll have 2 minutes from warming up period as well, so we will see the cars on track in just over 5 minutes time. So I'll give you a run through the order at the moment. So the team's just labelling from pod 1 down to pod 15. So we've got BW Racing Team, so those guys are James Baker, Josh Williams, Aravit Deodar. There you go. So he's actually you're a NASCAR driver, Aravit is, so it's a great guy to chat